All right, back again. It is April 10th. Time is flying by in 2020. And I'm going out my goddamn gourd during this lockdown. We can't even go on a goddamn hike around here in LA. So we're going to have to find a place to go because I'm going insane in the membrane. All right. It's April 10th. It's Saturday, I believe. There's a calendar back there behind me. I just wanted to give you an update as to the podcasting setup situation. This is going to have to change because it is out of control. Not a fan of it. Got my sticky notes over here. Got my vision board there. Got my daily operations there. Got a little quote thingy there. I want to make a show manifestation reminder. Over here we got this funky ass bookshelf, which I love books. I'm a big fan of books. And then over here we got the calendar, which if you're to come back on the other side of the desk and I was to shoot some like how-to videos or something, to me, not sexy. So we got this set up. This is what we're calling for right now. I'm going to try and tighten this Joby tripod. Right now, this is what it looks like here at the Content Creators Studio. This is my brother's side of the desk. We got Ancestral Indigenous Diet. We got the Carnivore Diet. We got the Carnivore Code by Paul Saladino. So yeah, he's been working on his Carnivore Diet blog. And he's about to start shooting some YouTube videos. And me and my girlfriend, we have been also coming up with some YouTube video ideas. I'm just here still documenting. And just wanted to give you a little behind the scenes into the laboratory here. Or at least what I'm trying to turn into the laboratory. And I'm struggling today. And the reason is because in this journey to try to figure out how to make a podcast or start a podcast, launch a podcast, build a successful podcast, I'm going through the newbie phases, which right now I just bought this mic. Almost dropped the box. Good thing I didn't. So anyway, this is the Audio-Technica ATR 2100. And I'm trying to figure out how to do GarageBand or how to work on it, like record and edit on GarageBand so I can, bring my shows into there and start working on making intros and outros and some other things. But yeah, if I'm going to film through the webcam, that's supposed to be showing up here any day now. This is like, if I was to have the webcam set up, this would be my backdrop, and I'm not a big fan of that backdrop, like just not sexy to me. So we're going to try to come up with a way to fix that. I don't know if I'm going to create some cool image in the background with, maybe my podcast artwork, but not make it too obviously commercially brandy, make it artistic and fun, to say the least. But yeah, that calendar ain't going to fly. So here I am with the what is it again? The ATR 2100 mic. Super sexy, super badass. I really like it so far. And I got it hooked up over here onto this boom arm. And then I got it hooked up to this pop filter. And it's funny because trying to record this all by myself. So it's funny that this freaking boom arm, when I put the mic in, it doesn't fit. So I got to figure out what the hell's going on with that and solve that problem. And then the boom arm that I have came with a XLR cable running through it. So I'm going to take that apart, take that cord out, and then run this USB, I think it's a USB-C cable, through the boom arm instead. So I'm going to have to do a little modification work here. But yeah, the reason I'm recording this is I just want to show what it's like trying to figure out how to do this from scratch. And I have a little bit of direction coming in from my brother. And then I'm still looking into maybe getting a course from a couple people that are super successful at podcasting. I'm not going to pull the trigger on that yet. I'm just trying to figure out everything that I possibly can for free. Oh, really quick, by the way, I just did this today because my feet, they freaking freeze. Like my feet feel frozen all day long if they're just on the wood here. So I took a bathroom mat out so I could have my feet on something warm. And I don't even have a real legit seat yet either. I just have this little spinny thing from when I used to own my gym. I didn't really do a lot of office work there. And I'll tell you what, this seat sucks. I'm not a fan. It makes my legs hurt and my hip hurt because it's just, I don't know. It's round and it's not like flat. So I have my standing desk over there as well for when my legs start cramping up or getting a little tight, so I can switch it up. But anyway, what I'm saying is I'm trying to figure out right now how to not only use the hardware, but I'm trying to figure out also how to use the software. And I'm being challenged with trying to use the ART 2100 mic and be able to hear everything coming through the headphones from the computer into my ears when I'm recording. So for some reason, I can't hear my voice in the headphones when I'm trying to use the ATR 2100 mic in GarageBand. So the reason I'm playing around with this stuff is so I actually know what the hell I'm doing and it's working right before I start my podcast interviews on my laptop. So we're getting closer. And as soon as my webcam gets in, I'm going to be heading over to my brother's house again, the creator of the Lifestylist podcast. A little chaga tea. And he's going to help me figure out how to record. Like, am I supposed to do it through Skype, through Zoom, call recorder, XYZ. But I'm going to be making videos on YouTube breaking down all the issues that I come up against and the solutions to them. So I'm really glad to be doing this project. It's going to turn into a way bigger project than just podcasting, with the ideas that I have as far as documentation and then as far as helping people that want to start their own podcasts in the future. And the reality is right now, all I can do is share with you all the challenges or the problems and the solutions that I find, just share my experience with going from being broke, in debt, just closing my business, changing career paths, having to have a job and do a podcast. But I just got laid off, so as soon as this quarantine lockdown thing ends, I'm gonna have to get back out on the job search once again, and get a job while creating a podcast and a YouTube channel. So I want to do all of this. I'm not going to be able to do it all at once, so I'm having to practice a lot of patience right now. Easier said than done, that's for sure. But I'm just happy to be doing something that is causing me to have to get creative, causing me to look into things that are new, because it's really easy to do things that we know how to do, right? But it's very challenging sometimes to do things we've never done before, the new things, the unknown. If it's unknown territory, sometimes it's hard to just say, you know what, I'm going to do that thing, because you don't know how to do it. But the way that I find out how to do something is by doing it and doing it wrong usually and making mistakes usually. Then I figure out, oh, this is how the damn thing works. So I'm just here putting in the footwork. I'm showing you what it's like being in the trenches, you know, starting my whole life over again. But the cool thing is it's creating not just creativity, it's bringing back my curiosity that I had when I first started out as a personal trainer, and when I first started out with Daily Burn back in the day, when I shot a bunch of amazing video content for them as far as fitness, anything from strength training, body weight training, kettlebell training, to joint mobility training, nutrition. So that curiosity was alive back then. And when I opened up and created my brick and mortar gym, a business from scratch, I was sleeping on floors. You know, in my first studio, I was sleeping on the floor. I moved out of my apartment to get it going. Sacrificed everything, put everything in storage. Slept in a sleeping bag in a mat for a year until I was able to upgrade to a new space. That was 600 square feet. Then I upgraded. The next space was like, I think 1,100 square feet. And I built a loft and slept out of that gym too. And I was able to do that for a year and build up enough profit to be able to have a savings to where I could then move out and get my own apartment. But then within 8 years, around the 6.5, 7 year mark, things started shifting and changing. And there's a lot of reasons why, but I lost that curiosity. I lost that passion and that love for doing what I was doing. And the reality is, I'm not the type of person that really sees myself doing that long term, over the long haul. Like, running a brick and mortar business was appealing in the beginning, and then all of a sudden it wasn't appealing anymore. So although this is very challenging for me every day now, I'm having to do a ton of research. It's cool to have that creativity, that imagination, that curiosity, that drive, and that earning to want to get up, that craving to want to get up and figure this stuff out. And as I figure this stuff out, to keep staying consistent with doing my best to share this experience, this moment in time, which will never happen again. I'll never have to go back and learn all this stuff over again. So I want to make sure I capture that moment in time. And that way, when I become successful again, I can say, hey, look, go check out these videos. Back when I was starting out, this was ridiculous. It was rough. It was frustrating. It was challenging. I was lost and confused and didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I just stuck to doing one little task after another, and I started asking people for help, and I started taking bigger actions over time. But I also got to right now just realize I'm not there yet, but it's going to be cool 2 years, 3 years from now. This is, again, about the long game. Like I was playing when I opened my brick and mortar business, I was in it for the long haul, but then I got burnt out. I didn't know how to profit and scale. And then I just didn't have the drive to want to investigate how to do it with that topic, that subject, that way of being of service in the world and making an impact. It left. But I'm finding it again. I got that drive again. So I'm just expressing my gratitude, my enthusiasm, and my excitement for whatever's going on inside of me. And I know not every day is going to be exciting and fun and happy, but I don't expect that either, because to me, that's not how life works. Sometimes the greatest creativity and my greatest works have come from the most painful of times, the most discouraging and frustrating and challenging times. Some of the best things that I've ever done have come out of those moments. And this is just another one of those moments, these big shifts in my life, this transition, transformation, this starting over, whatever you want to call it, this going from failure on another hunt for success. I'm trying to figure out what the hell my vision is right now. Do I have a vision? Hell, I got a vision board, but it ain't complete. I got to complete that bad boy. And I've been doing a lot of writing on this right now. I've been trying to map out, what does my vision look like? Listen to Michael Hyatt on a podcast the other day, and he's got a new book out called The Vision Driven Leader, or Vision Driven Leadership, something like that. And he was talking about planning 3 years from now, plan 3 years out, and then a year out, and then 6 months, then a month, and then a week, and then daily. What are the things that I need to do? If I don't take the time to sit down and put my mind to it, use my brain, use my thinking, and express the thoughts, the vision, the dreams, the things that I want to do in this world, if I don't do that, I'm not going to have a map. If I don't have a map, I'm just moving through life in a general way. Well, only thing that's going to come from that is a general result, which means I'm probably not going to get from point A to point B to C all the way to Z. So for me, it's really important to have a map. And it was beautiful having this kind of conversation with my girlfriend this morning, where we were talking about clarity, talking about awareness, and admitting where we're at, so we can start to see where we're at and build out a vision to where we want to go, and then use our minds and our creativity, these innate gifts, these sides of ourselves that can dream something up and turn that dream into a reality. And I don't expect it to be overnight. I don't expect it to be easy. I don't expect it to be for it to be a free ride for me. It's never been, and it never will be. But I do want to start to gain more and more clarity, because every time I've done that in my life, that level of awareness has always always paid me back in dividends when I just sit down and I spend that time to create clarity, whether it's on my numbers, on my finances, because I've struggled with that for years. When I have sat down and got clear on my numbers, it's helped me make some of the biggest decisions in my life. One of which was to close down my business because the numbers, when I got clarity, were shocking. Because it was once like this, and then all of a sudden it was like this, but it wasn't really all of a sudden. It had been happening over time, slowly, little bit by little bit. But because I was unwilling to look, the monster underneath the bed was growing every damn day to where that monster was so big. The best decision I could make was to shut this down, start over once again. And this ain't new to me. I've done this before. I've been homeless. I've slept out of the back seat of my car. I've slept on rooftops in the middle of Los Angeles, California when I was 23 years old, suffering from drug addiction, alcoholism, and just being a wild-ass mofo. I've done that. I know I don't look like that today. I don't act like that today. I don't conduct myself in the world like that today. I do not live like that at all now. But that's my track record. That's my history. That's my past. That's where I come from. It doesn't scare me. I've had another level of fears that I've had to face beyond that because I've been working my ass off internally, building character, building new thoughts and new ways of feeling and conducting myself for 15 years now. And I don't give myself a pat on the back for that. That's just so I can live and exist on this planet with some joy and some gratitude and some love and some conviction and certainty and meaning and passion, X, Y, Z. That's why I've had to do that. And if I don't tend to my garden, it will be overrun with weeds. It will be overrun to the point in where my garden starts to suffer and things start to die off. So I got to tend to all of the things that I'm talking to on a daily basis or not. And if I don't, I just better be willing to pay the price or suffer the consequences. Or I can tend to the garden, put in the work, even when I don't want to, and I can suffer those consequences, which would happen to be more positive consequences. The consequential events that came from doing the work would be positive because that type of work is positive. But I'm not saying I'm doing that just to only solely avoid the negative aspects of life. Like I said, the negative aspects of life have been some of the greatest gifts. It's a part of the deal here for me. It's a part of this life curriculum, this school that I'm in. So I know I just went on a rant, but I'm going to wrap this video up now because I got to get back to figuring out how to get it so I can use this ATR 2100 Audio-Technica microphone to where I can use the microphone and hear myself coming through the damn headphones. I know it sounds like it ain't much, but goddamn, I'm not the best with technology and software, but I'm willing to figure this stuff out. And I know it's a small little problem right now, but it is a problem, and I got to figure it out so I can keep moving forward. So yeah, this is just another day in the life of Cody Allen Story, trying to figure out how to make a damn podcast. In the beginning, it was just me trying to record and film and document what it's like to start my life over, not knowing what the hell was going to be next. Then I got laid off, and I found out when I looked inside, you know what? I could do that. I could make a podcast. That could be the next way in which I start or make a beginning trying to help other people, because I know what it's like to be in the dark night of the soul, to be in the shadows of the valley of death, to be in a very dark place. I've been in this place for almost probably a year now. It ain't been pretty, but it's been pretty too. I've had a lot of beautiful moments. But I want to just share what I'm going through. And my brain just went on a whole another set of tracks. Forgot where I was going with that thought, but it's all good. Doesn't matter. The point being is I'm trying to find out, and thank God to getting laid off, and thank God to closing my business, because it's helping me find out. It's bringing me closer to finding what I'm going to do next. Because like I was saying, there's the thought. I didn't know being in this place, I didn't know. Maybe you're in a place right now where you don't know what is going to be next for you. Maybe your life is in shambles. It's upside down too. All as I know is I've kept searching, even when I was hopeless and even when I lost faith and I didn't believe that it was going to get better. Something inside of me was small but bigger. It was a small little flicker of light, but it had a lot of power behind it because I wasn't willing to go back to my old life, my old way of being. Something inside of me kept searching because I was hopeless. It was searching for hope again. Because I lost my faith, I was searching for faith again. And I didn't give up in regards to that. Even though when I closed that business down, which was, something I put a lot of time, energy, money, and love into, when I closed it down, man, the goddamn demons, they flew out of me. My heart broke. But it just broke open a little bit more. So I can start to see how I can be even more useful and have a greater time while I'm here on this planet and enjoy it and have more fun, learning new ways to be of service and help other people that might be where I've been at, which is hopeless and with no faith, and not believing in themselves that their life can change or that they can change. And I just want to be a reminder. I just want to be a beacon of light in the direction of there is hope. There is hope for me. There is hope for you. There is hope for everybody. But it really comes down to being able to be honest with myself and being able to muster up even the little bit of willingness that might be there, and then to take that willingness and make some decisions to take action, and then take those actions and follow through on the commitments that I'm willing to make to myself, and follow through on those commitments I'm willing to make to other people. And more as days go on, I'm learning how important language and thinking and communication and to have precision with my words and the way I speak. I'm finding it to be more and more important the older I get and the more experience that I have in this life. And I find that it makes my relationships with people better. It improves them tenfold. It makes everything better. It makes me a better person. It makes me a better servant. It makes me better at being devoted to whatever my vision is. So I don't want to keep on rambling. I said I was going to stop, so I'm going to stop. But this is a wild time. It's very interesting. But I wouldn't change it for anything. And I got a lot of hours left ahead of me today. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing outside of trying to solve these little minor software problems that are slowing me down that I got to figure out so I can move forward. But right now I'm also figuring out how to map my days out. Because like I was saying, I got to have a map. A daily map, a month map, a 6-month map, a year map, a 3 years from now map. I got to have a trail to follow. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be able to stick to that trail and stay on that trail the whole way through. There's going to be detours. And those detours are okay. That's part of the deal. I got to be able to at least have a map and then move in a direction and see what works and what doesn't work, and learn about the pitfalls along the way, and then learn how to be a better navigator, how to keep assessing, how to keep reevaluating and see what's really going on, taking these kind of inventories and taking stock, appraisal. Those are all really, really key to me, to where I use my time in a way that is more useful, and to also maximize my time on a daily basis, monthly basis, yearly basis. So yeah, my vision might be lofty, but I do think it's possible. And even if my vision is a little bit lofty, I can right size it, not be crazy grandiose, but I can also realize if I was to hit the mark and only get 50% there, that's still better than doing nothing. Because doing nothing is only going to create more pain, more suffering, and more problems. So even if I shoot for my goal and I want to get 100% there, even if I was to hit 50%, that's still a killer deal. Even 25% of what I would like to do in this lifetime. To me, that would be a killer deal. But I'm still shooting for that 100%. I'd love to fulfill every aspect of my vision. But if I don't, my happiness and the way I feel on the inside doesn't have to be dictated by whether or not I get something or whether I lose something. I want to find a way to live on this life where it's more stable, more grounded, not so much like a roller coaster ride, where sometimes it does feel like that. I just don't want that to be the reg at all. So anyway, I guess those are just some of the thoughts that I have today that I needed to share and express and get out. And the big thing for me with this documentation, with these documentation videos, is just to do it even though I don't want to do it. To keep learning how to improve being able to be on camera and talk on camera, to where I can become better at sharing through the camera, to where I can be able to help people through the camera that much more. Because I'm looking to go all digital, baby, all remote, all online. That's the way I want to go. I've done it through brick and mortar, just not interested. But I am interested in how do you do this stuff online, because people are doing this at a crazy high level right now. I feel like I'm way behind, but it's all good. I feel like I'm too late to the rodeo, but it's all good. I feel like, wow, they're so far out there. Is that even possible? Well, whether it is or whether it isn't, it doesn't matter. They did it, so there's the proof. Maybe I can do it too. I consider that maybe I can get to where they're at, that level, or maybe I can't. I don't know. I'm just willing to try, experiment, and test it out. Maybe, maybe not. Have an open mind, Cody. Have an open mind. All right, that's it for good. Peace out. This is just a little more behind the scenes starting a podcast.